everybody, Barry here again. Lift kit, gotta go. But first, it'd be nice to get the engine out of the way so that that's not impeding my vision. Drive shaft gotta come out, transfer case, transmission, engine. I think I may just pull the transfer case out to make it easier and just to make it a little more stable on this end. But there's not a lot to it really. Take the engine out. I'm going to save the wiring because it's intact and the PCM and everything is here, so that's nice. And then I can start removing the lift kit, which means basically everything except for the frame rails from what I can see. Chad Brinson was by the other day looking at the frame with me and he said, "Oh, you've got to remove that 6-inch lift kit." Yeah, they had to cut the cross member out in order to install that lift kit. So I've got that to deal with, so thanks for giving me a heads up on that. I'll just cut the cross member out of another truck I've got outside. There is the 4-wheel drive Escalade frame out there with no engine in it, no front end, nothing. So I can just run the sawzall out there, slice it off, leave lots of meat so that I can just kind of weld it back in this one. I don't know if that'll be in this video or not, but who knows? We'll find out. I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit shorter and more manageable lately. Yep, let's take it all out. I'm going to time lapse it so we can get through into the meat. Everything was going pretty well there for a minute. Yeah, then it stopped going pretty well, but whatever. I blame it on the lift kit. Don't lift your trucks, kids. Seriously? Seriously? Don't lift your trucks, kids. I may use this transmission. The fluid was quite red. That came out of between the transfer case and transmission. And didn't smell toasty. Didn't smell like Dextron soup. So I might use it. I don't know if many of those transmissions outside are good or not. I know Rodney's truck, it's a black regular cab short bed. That's got a transmission in it. I know it shifts because I drove it home and I think I drove it to the shop. I can't remember. It shifts, I know that much. That truck has 500,000 kilometers on it. So how good are the clutches and the bands and all that fun stuff inside that transmission? I'm nervous because I'm going to be putting power through this thing. This transmission is very clean. So I might use it. And if it comes down to it that it's no good, I'll throw it away and get another one. I'm going to change the torque converter. A guy who watches the channel, his name is No Please No, which is hilarious, attempted to send me a torque converter for free, and it was greatly appreciated. It never showed up. So somebody between Ontario and here ended up with a 3600 stall torque converter for a 4L60, which makes me really sad, but well, hopefully that person gets to do burnouts. So anyway, that happened, and I apologize for that happening, Mr. No Please No. And yeah, so I'm going to use a V6 torque converter. I've got a 4.3 single cab long box Grandpa Special truck out there. The blue one that broke the drive shaft when Hibbs did a burnout on Main Street and it was tire hopping. I made a big mess of the drive shaft all over the road. And but the torque converter in that, I think I'm going to use. So I'm going to put a V6 torque converter in it. I have a truck outside that was an 03 single cab short box Grandpa Special, and the 4.3 torque converters apparently have a higher stall because the 4.3 is a soggy wet blanket, and it made absolutely zero power. So to move the same size of a truck as a V8, it needed to get higher in its RPM range, higher stall. So hopefully that'll calm down this cam a little bit because I'm using a sloppy stage 2 cam. So enough talking, let's get this thing out. I just got the engine mount bolts out, and you can see that pinkish red looking stuff there. That is factory Loctite. So these bolts have never been out. That is so cool. It should be normal that an engine should never come out of a vehicle, but for me, I've seen a lot of engines come out of vehicles. So it's kind of cool to see all factory parts that are untouched. Starting to look a lot cleaner, a whole lot cleaner. I think it's ready to come out. I just need to undo the transmission lines from the side of the transmission. And all that stuff is off the engine, so it's looking much, much cleaner. That's a whole rat's nest there. I'm just gonna leave all this stuff on because this engine is gonna be outside for a short period. And I'd like to keep it from getting water in it if I can, because I don't know. Apparently the engine's cooked, but I can't confirm that myself. Well, welcome to outside. The wind picked up, it's raining, I'm on my lunch break. And I'm gonna see if I can get the torque converter out of this thing swiftly. This is an 03 or 04 4.3 four-wheel drive in a full-size truck. So I have, so far, all the bell housing bolts out, the engine mount bolts out on that side, and I think I'm just gonna pick it up with a forklift, pull it ahead, get the torque converter bolts out, and then I'll just put it back right where it rests now. It's a bit of a hard spot. A lot of water. I'm trying not to get my feet wet because I gotta go back to work for 4 more hours. But other than that, it's actually coming out pretty well. I got one of these bolts loose, 2 of that out, and the other one just completely stripped because this thing is like the Titanic. So I'm gonna see if I can split the manifold. I've got my axe. I don't know, might not work. Let's try it anyway. Well, I was just about to swing the axe that one time, and Craig came out and he's like, you know when he goes Sawzall, right? Not enough cord. Well, the cord is plugged in there. It goes way up there. I've got even more cord. I think I'll try it this way. Breaking cast iron is not the easiest thing for sure. Hopefully I have enough cord. Please reach. Please reach. I don't know, man. It's awfully close. It's gonna work. Oh yeah. Craig saves the day again. The question of the day: should I run 200 feet of extension cord to a 15 amp outlet that's another 150 feet away from the breaker with a Sawzall, and while standing in water? Don't answer that. We're doing it anyway. Works like a charm. Every time. That's hot. I don't think I can bend that back into shape. New blade. Well, that's much better. It would have been nice to have that Y pipe all intact, actually, if it wasn't a V6. I don't know if it fits the 8s, but well, it's too late now. Well, lunch break is over, but as far as I can tell, this thing's ready to come out. So maybe after work, I'll grab the forklift and try to get around. Without getting stuck. Probably gonna get stuck. So I thought I would jack the engine up so that I wouldn't make a huge mess. And then I made a bit of a mess down there with the transmission lines. One cool thing is, and a lot of people won't appreciate this probably, look, rust-free transmission lines from a Chevy truck. Look, They're like brand new. I don't think I've ever seen this from a... I don't think I've ever seen this at all. Every truck that I have, the transmission lines look like this. And they leak. Usually here or here. I think normally right there, actually. Wherever the clips are, anyway. And they're usually completely gone. So I'm going to keep these, because that is a score. Oh. Oh, I expect that to fall over at any minute. But it's draining the transmission. So I'd rather drain into that bucket than all over the floor. The fluid is actually not bad at all. It's very clean. Just removed the starter so I can get at the bell housing bolts.
Just got to turn the engine over so the bolts line up.
And I noticed something odd. So right here, you can see the flywheel. Obviously, harmonic balancer. I'm going to just rotate it. That doesn't seem very normal. Something seems loose. Like I can rotate the engine, sort of, kind of. Yeah, it's tight, but watch. What came apart? What's that clinky noise? Resisting the urge to stall the whole project and take this engine apart. Really resisting the urge. Torque converter bolts are out. I took out the bell housing bolts. I'm just waiting for all this to just fold in half and make a big mess on the floor, but I'll deal with that in a minute. Time to go outside, get on the forklift. Don't shut off, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that was so close. Oh, I hope this starts. It's so cold out. Propane is awful. Oh boy. Come on. Don't make me get the quick start. Oh, it is not doing so well. Oh boy. This is worse than carburetors. I'll fix you. I didn't expect this to be mainly a forklift video, but well, here we are. Sometimes it just makes me do it. I don't think this whole thing has ever actually let me down, but come on. Alright. How do I reach this thing? I wonder. Ooh, we're almost there. Don't die now. And now it needs a battery. Between cast working 8 days a week and my 6 days and the forklift, I'm never gonna get anything done. I'll fix you. Don't make me spray more quick start into you. Wow, eh? You gonna be like that? Forklift and cold apparently doesn't go together. Come on, reach. Ow. What is wrong? Yeah. think there's any carbon left in the valves. Oh man. God, it burns. Why are you like this? Yeah. Oh, more sauce. I forgot to turn the propane on. Oh yeah. Nobody ever said I was good at this. Let's give her a little break. I forgive you, Forklift. If there's anything I'd suggest for putting on your forklift, it's chains. This thing's like a four-wheel drive, man. All right, strap it on and lift it up. I got it lifted up a little bit, and of course it doesn't want to separate. Come on. Yeah, it's not being very cooperative, is it? Woohoo! Well, that came out. Sweet. Everything in there is normal as it looked before. See if there's a identification number or anything on this thing. There may have been a sticker right there. There may have been. I don't see it anymore. Well, there's something right here though. What does that say? I wonder. 7358-A. I wonder what that means. Hey, torque converter's off. That was a bit of a pain, but I got it. Woohoo! Well, drop right back down where it goes, and then, well, I guess I'm done outside for now. All right, here we go. We have part numbers TLCX24206636. In my 5 seconds of searching, I couldn't find anything. I'll do that later. Let's worry about this. Let's get this engine transmission out. And then Charles Williams mentioned that the V6 4L60 may have a smaller input shaft than the V8 4L60. I'd like to figure that out like right now. So I'm going to split the engine and transmission and stab a torque converter on there and see what happens. Well, I didn't drop it on the frame. Didn't beat anything up. That's a good sign. Old plastic bag worked out really well, actually. Perfect. Yeah, now I want to split it apart. And they're separated. I just tried the V6 torque converter in that V8 6TE, fit like a glove, no issues at all. So I'm gonna write something on that, like V6 or something. If I find out what those numbers mean, I will check back. Right now, this is gonna go out into the pile. That is also, I think, I don't know if it's any good or not, so I'm kind of afraid. There's another truck out there with a good transmission. So I think I'd rather use that instead. But for right now, I gotta go home and get my girls some supper and watch a movie with Cass, so I'm all done for tonight. So, thanks for coming on this shenanigan roller coaster with me today. This is the thing about unscripted YouTube. It literally can be anything, and it can be really fun. So thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks to my YouTube members and patrons and subscribers. If you want to check out my Patreon, it's patreon.com/stationroadratrods. My YouTube members link is down here. And thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.